people, from what I've read from reviews, liked Spider-Man and Batman. Some people call it the best movie ever, but Morbius had a lot of negative reviews. And honestly, I can understand why. I personally didn't think it was bad, but I can see why people would think it's a bad movie, because it's a relatively monotone kind of story, in my opinion. And there isn't a whole lot of action like what you're usually used to from Morbius, or Marvel, I mean. So yeah, it was, the movie was a bit slow for my liking, but regardless, I did really enjoy the movie. So yeah, I went to see those movies with Chris. And not too long ago, Chris's dad, a friend of Chris's dad, turned 50 and threw a party in a cafe not too far from where we are. So we went there in the weekend, and it was this really cool cafe that sells like different, it's like very European. It sells different tapenades and bruschetta spreads and different infused oils and crackers and all that kind of stuff. Very tasty. So that was the front part of the building. When you walk in, on the left side you had all of these products that they sell, and then on the right side you had a bar going in with a few tables. And then if you would walk in a little bit further, there was a second room where they had homemade little sandwiches with vegetables and prosciutto and things like that. Really, really good. And then if you walked a little bit further, there was another room that they set up as like a dance area. I don't know how many people there were at this party. It must have been around 40, maybe a little bit more. And there was a DJ that was hired, and a few friends of Chris's dad that I know were there too, and one of them does actually just finished watching this show. Don't believe it's on Netflix. It's somewhere else. But it's an anime, and it's called One Punch Man. And it's really funny. And also, the second half of season 4 of Ozark is gonna come out very soon this month. I can't wait to see that either. I really like Ozark. And currently, we started watching the show Narcos. Which is very interesting. So, a few days ago, I went to pick up a kennel from somebody. That's a dog carrier, and somebody gave it away for free. So I decided that I would pick it up because we have Lena and Kiki, and Lena's bed is with blankets in it is also technically a dog carrier, but she's always felt really safe in that. And then Kiki had like one of those metal kennels, but it was light pink colored. And we got that when we got her from the owner back in 2007. And I really didn't like that pink kennel. It was way too big. You could fit like 4 Kikis in there, and it took up a lot of space in the living room. So I've been looking for something smaller for quite a while now. You know, on one of the websites I always like to check for aquarium stuff. And just, you know, random stuff is Kijiji. They have a free section. So, just like any other night, I was scrolling through there. And that's when I saw the dog carrier. So, I messaged her. And I was able to pick it up. It wasn't used for a very long time. But the cute thing is when I came home, of course, you know, a very heavy dog sniffing session happened. Both puppies, Lena and Kiki, were both like putting their nose in it and really like deeply sniffing it for about 15 minutes. But when I told Kiki, okay, this is your bed now, within the first few minutes she knew that it was her. She was like super excited, wagging her tail, running around me, jumping up against me. Yeah, really, really cute. So for those of you who haven't seen the video about what happened to my channel, in that video I also said that I will be publishing 2 videos in April, a week, 2 videos a week in April, and it will be Tuesday and Saturday. So just thought I would mention it again, because I did see some people saying, like, oh, I'm looking forward to see you on Friday again, but I'm not publishing previous years that in the first 2 weeks of April, the weather kind of really like fluctuates. And then in the last 2 weeks of April, the weather becomes significantly better. So it's super windy today. It's like always when I'm filming, it's windy. Okay. One bowl of stew is the perfect amount for lunch for me. Tonight I think I'm going to make some potatoes with broccoli, homemade cheese sauce, and some meatballs.